Alright, now welcome back to Disc Golf with Conrad again at JP Mosley Park. This is going to be our third installment, and I'm going to be playing the alternate pin locations here. So the alternate locations start out on 2, so the numbering here on the screen is going to be a little bit different. So this is actually going to be 2A. 2A is a par 3 at 176 feet. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a par 3 at 297 feet. Ideally, you start this one right after 2. And then you'll come back and finish up on 3. And right there was a low mid shot. It's still kind of flared in the right direction, but the hole goes up and turns to the left. So really out of position for where that shot should have been. I've seen the whole park plenty of times, and I'm able to park that approach. And there I go, I tap in for a par. Now the alternate 9, there's 3 holes off of 2, and then the remaining holes are off of 4. So it's easy to play a smooth round of 27. And most of the alternate holes, well, all of them are in the woods. So this is going to be 2B. It's a par 3 at 291, and it's a straight shot in this pin location. I pull out my Pure. Don't quite give it the height that I wanted, but it still goes down and gives me a very decent approach. I think the other pin location is a little bit more to the right, so you have to do a little bit more working to get over to that location. See, the basket is slightly down the hill, so from the tee you can actually see the flag and the basket, but not the cage. And there's just a putt off to the right and that putt off to the left. If you do play JP Mosley, I would advise to take the time, bring the water, and play all 27 holes. The alternate 9, they are unique from the other holes on the course, and I think it'd be very well worth your time to get that experience with those holes in. Alright, so this one is going to be 2C. It is a par 3, 271 feet. And again, this is basically a straight shot. It's going to finish a little bit off to the right. I throw my Pure again, but again, I throw it too low. Still not a terrible place to land, but not ideal with where I was trying to go. So it leaves me short in circle 2. Now I'm going to use my putting Pure here. Work around this tree and didn't quite commit, so it came out of the turn. Just to prove to myself that I can commit, I throw another one. We always know the second one doesn't count. Sometimes you just have to prove to yourself that you're better than what you just threw. Alright, we're able to tap that in for a par. So that was 2C. I did continue playing the regular holes before I came back around to 4A. 4A is a par 3 at 176 feet. 4A is and a very tight alley shot. This location does have 3 different locations. This location is slightly, well, it's straightforward and slightly to the right. I think from the location, from the tee box, you can actually only see the flag because it does go uphill and then slightly downhill a little bit. Looks like I'm gonna try to do a forehand flex with the Cayman here, and just don't quite get the angle right, but get a nice kick from the tree. Still leaves me with a decent putt here. And I'm able to tap that in from circle 2. The first 3 holes on the 4 alternates they're short, but they're very challenging. Like that one was a very tight tonal shot, perfectly gettable. Very several different paths to get there. I've seen thumbers get there, forehands, and of course backhands. This one again is a very simple shot here. This is 4B, which is a par 3, 167 feet, so not long. You can see the flag just sticking up over the hillside there. Now, at the very bottom of the hill, it goes down, and then there's the basket, the green, the small green area, and directly behind that is creek, which is OB. So really the green is surrounded on 3 sides by creek. So it stops a lot of ace runs attempts, because if you're going to ace run it, if you don't hit something, you are going OB. So that was a wayward shot there, just a scaredy cat shot basically. I didn't give it the go that it needed to get down there. This was a safe, the first shot was what I thought was a safe shot. It did slide down the hill and flirt with the OB. The second shot hit off the top and just laid underneath the basket. So you see down here there's not a lot of green to work with. Luckily the creek is it's normally wet, but it's not I haven't seen it come up that high before. So it's there, but it's not at risk of taking your disc down the stream or anything like that. And there are stairs over here on the other side to make coming up and down a little bit easier. So now we're going to be moving on to 4. Oh, I must be off my number. No, this is 4C. So 4C is a par 3, 216. You're playing from down by the creek and you're playing all the way up, so everything's up. Even though it says it's 216, plays a little bit further than that. For me, the best shot I've had has always been the overhand shot. I think I threw a thumber there, trying to get it to land on its back and slide over, which it did. Leaves me with a putt slightly outside of circle 1, but still very much gettable. Having to do a straddle here. Gave it enough juice, but just a little bit too high. I hit exactly what I was aiming for. So easy little drop in there for a par. Now we're going to move to 4D. Some routes skip this length of the course when they're playing different layouts, but of course we're playing all the alternates here. So 4D is a par 5, 534 feet. I threw my atlas there hoping that it would naturally turn over and finish to the right where I wanted, but it just kind of flipped up and stayed straight. Here you'll see that the Henry County Disc Golf Club is installing a permanent tee box for the red position. My disc landed just in front of there a little bit off to the left, so we'll proceed to that. But nice to see that they're still making enhancements to the course. To say that there's a fairway is kind of a misconception. There is no straight shot. There's always trees that you're going to have to either dodge or poke and pray to get to where exactly you want to get to, especially when you get up to the green area here. So I haven't made it across the creek yet. That was just a scramble shot just to make some forward progress. So there's a creek that runs across there too. I'm trying to remember if it was wet or not, but it's kind of deep anyway. It goes down deep, not that the water's deep. So it doesn't look like it, but we're looking directly at the green. So that is a perfect shot for a different pin position. So there's 3 different pin positions here on that green, and that one landed right there. That's the pin location, and that's my disc. Would have been a nice shot for there, but the basket's over there. Did have a slight error in recording. So I made the putt, but stopped recording and picked up the camera. So we missed that putt go in. Just believe me, it went in. All right, now we're moving on to 4E. It is another par 3, 256 feet, but this takes a hard left turn. And it's one of those that it's just hard to gauge exactly where the gap is that you want to go in to and advance to the left. It's a very difficult shot for me. Never been able to really park the green. That right there wasn't a great approach either. It hit trees and fell down. But it is, of course, it is possible, but it's just a very touchy shot to get into the right gap and have the right disc on the right angle to get close. Threes are always possible here, even if you go a little deep off the tee. There's a little marshy back there, but none of that's considered OB. You can normally have a decent approach to be able to tap in for your par. So 4F is going to be the last hole on the alternate route here. It is a par 3, 244 feet, and this is a opposite of the other one. It's a hard right, but this is I guess the clearest fairway of them all. I'm going with a forehand here with a Thunderbird, but it stays straight just a little bit too long, finds some limbs, and then comes down. I've done a turnover before, but I did not have the disc that I would use to do that. And I don't think the disc that I was using as my alternate turnover disc would take the distance that it needed before it turned over to make the corner. There is another position. This is my first time playing this position, actually. Just left of where I am now, that you can barely see it off the tee. But that's the position I'm used to playing it in. So that was a very pitiful upshot, but close enough for me to be able to tap in. So that will wrap up my recording for this day at JP Mosley. If you watch the other videos, you see me play the front 9 and the back 9, and now the alternate. I did play all the 27 holes in a row, so towards the back end I was getting a little winded there. Didn't bring enough, didn't have anything to eat that morning, and didn't bring enough fluids to keep me going. So don't make that mistake. Again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, throw some out every now and then, and see you on the next video.